All right, welcome back to the stream. We are doing day 2 of the GMTK jam. So yesterday, I initially started with a stealth game idea and then decided to scrap that and switch to a tower defense idea instead. And the tower defense idea is, well, let me back up a little bit. The theme is roles reversed. So the examples given was like Tetris, but you move the level instead of the blocks, that kind of thing. It's a subversion of what you typically would expect when you're playing a certain type of game. And so for tower defense, I wanted to make a tower defense game, and to make it roles reversed, the towers are not going to automatically shoot. You, the player, are going to control the towers and where they shoot and how they shoot. And the towers are going to be upgraded and placed automatically. So it's kind of an inversion. You're not going to be the one managing the towers, you're going to be the one shooting the towers. So that's the idea. And here's what I've got so far. So it's the theme is kind of like farmers and plants. And so you've got farmers coming in. This daisy right here is one of the towers. And so I can shoot the farmers as they're coming. And it's just basic tower defense. The farmers need to get to this silo here, and when they do, your health will be depleted at the bottom here. So that's the idea as it currently exists. For this stream, I want to work a lot on the turret behaviors, the tower behaviors. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so the first thing that I want to do is make it so that I already have this turret grow component. So if I do a turret grower here, I can drag this turret grower anywhere I want, like so. And I can set a time to grow here. And then I can also set a scene, like so. And so now, the way I've configured it, after 5 seconds, that turret will show up. So there's another turret, and I can select this one now and start shooting that way. So that's the idea. And yeah, I'm just going to play around with this, work on the turret mechanics quite a bit, and see what we can come up with. So for the first level here, this is kind of going to be the tutorial level. So I'm going to place maybe a turret grower right here. Make it show up 30 seconds in. And then, yeah, we have this enemy spawner component here. Can make enemies spawn a little bit quicker over time. And yeah, so let's go. So I'm just going to play test this a little bit and see, what the obvious next step is. I think one thing that I want to do is limit the range of the towers. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to set a range on this. Range equals 200. And then we're going to keep distance traveled here. And in the process method, what we're going to do is we're going to say distance traveled plus equals speed times delta. Is that right? Yeah. So that's our distance traveled. If distance traveled is greater than range, then we're going to queue free that. So the reason I'm doing this is because it will make the game a little bit more difficult and also provide upgrade opportunities. Okay, so that's too much of a range. Let's have that. Okay, so now I've got a shorter range here, which is going to make the game a little bit more difficult. Hello, One Chief. How you doing? So yeah, the problem here is that maybe the fire rate is too high, or maybe the enemy spawn rate is too low. I've got to make it so that there's enough enemies such that you actually need to use the other turret that grows. So in the early stages, it's pretty easy, as you would expect from a tower defense. But the enemies should start coming a lot quicker. And of course, there will be other enemy types, like there could be fast enemies that kind of blow through your defenses. I don't want to make this too slow, but let's see if I can make these enemies spawn a little bit faster. I might also need to reduce the fire rate of the daisy here. And then in later levels, I'll have multiple paths too, so you actually have to bounce around. This is also going to depend on your accuracy too, so if I start missing a bunch of enemies, so I'm still doing all right here. Okay, now I gotta switch to the other one. Now this might be too much. And I'm also gonna have a turret upgrading functionality, so that may change things a little bit. So yeah, this is a little bit wonky right now. I just got to figure out the right balance here, make it feel good. Let's see, let's go to the daisy here. Let's turn down the fire rate and see what that does. No, that feels too slow. Okay. So, yeah, we'll see what this does. So the idea is that I want the enemies to start getting through the defenses. Start getting farther before that one spawns. So that's what we've got going on. So I think what I'll do is I'll strategize a little bit. I'll damage these guys up. And then switch to this one. Okay, I think this is more like what I was trying to go for. So let's do... let's do like a turret upgrade, because that's going to be a big part of the game. And this daisy is going to be upgraded before probably that daisy is grown. So let's try an upgrade. So what I want to do is let's create a bigger daisy here. So I'm going to save this. Do I want to save this as a separate thing? Let's just save it separately. Maybe not. Let's do 32 by 32. Oops. Canvas size, 32 by 32. So I'll take this, put it right back down here. So this is base, and then let's create a new layer, and we'll call this upgraded. Okay, and for the upgraded one, it's just going to be a much taller daisy. Okay, what am I doing? I will make this look a little bit nicer in a little bit, but I just want to get the proportions down real quick. Okay. So just kind of take the same approach that I did with the basic one. All right. So now we can add some shape to the stalk here. Oh boy. Might want to add... Probably add some leaves to this stalk too. I don't really like this. But perhaps it'll be, let's see. Maybe it'll be fine if I just add some leaves there. Cool. I suppose I could also make the petals a little bit bigger. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Let's just add a little bit of shading here. Okay. This big block right here is not sitting well with me. Hello, Dardasaba. It's going well. Going very well. I'm very excited about my idea, but we'll see how it goes. Yes, this is a sprite. Hello, is it Chow? Grazzini? I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that you're learning a lot. Thanks for taking the course. Okay, that looks a little bit better, I think. Yeah, if anyone's interested in learning how to make a 2D game in the Godot engine, you could check out my Udemy course. The link for that is in the description. So yeah, that's an option for you. I don't want to go overboard on the highlights here. Okay, and then we want to take some of this shading here. Like so. All right, I think that looks great. So this is our upgraded daisy. I should probably, well, we're already deep into it. I should probably test the size of it in-game before I keep going forward, but we're already committed, so. Suppose I could have used the outline tool for this. I kind of like manually outlining things, though. It's kind of fun. All right, so there's the upgraded daisy. And then we also need to add a shadow to it, which I'm just going to loosely copy sort of what's going on over there. All right, so there's our upgraded daisy. So So let's rename this to Daisy Base, and we'll rename this one to Daisy Upgraded. Save that. Okay, and then we can do this. File, scripts, Gatsby, export layers, and I can do this, and that will export each layer as a separate sprite. And so now, instead of having this daisy here, I can drag the daisy base over there. And I need to reposition it a little bit. Cool. All right. So then what I'm going to do is, instead of trying to keep the upgraded version within the same scene, I think what I'm going to do is create a new scene. I'll duplicate this. Daisy upgraded. Cool. And we'll just remove that script there. Okay, and our sprite 2D, we can do this Daisy upgraded here. And there's our upgraded Daisy. And then the turret fire component, we can turn up the fire rate, for instance. And then turret selection component. I might need to change this, but we'll see. Cool. So now I got to figure out what is... Oh yeah, I don't need this script here. So we can get rid of that. Get rid of this script. Let's rename this to Daisy Base. Did I just break everything? No, we're good. Cool. Kyle. Okay. I'm struggling a bit with my idea. It's one of those ideas that sound great on paper, but doesn't really work in reality. Yeah, I had the same issue in my stream yesterday for those of you that were there. Yeah, I was doing a stealth game initially that sounded cool on paper, but then it was a total failure, so... Yeah. Hello, Zygen. Welcome back. It's significant. The Daisy is significantly nicer looking. Thank you. I had some help from a viewer yesterday who told me to do some shading, so... Cool. All right, so there's our Daisy upgraded. And so now let's create a new, let's say a new scene. We're going to call this an turret upgrade component. We're going to save this in scenes component. Save it there. Let's go ahead and add a script. So let's say at export var upgrade scene. Packed scene. And then let's do export var, let's say required kills or something. I don't know if this is going to be great, but let's just roll with it. So now the interesting thing is I got to figure out how to relate the kills to a specific turret. So I might need to build like a bullet component as well. So let's say, yeah, I don't have enough information yet to be able to do anything. So I'm going to go to my Daisy base here, instantiate child scene, turret upgrade component. We'll just keep it fine. Let's do Daisy upgraded, drop that into the upgrade scene. The problem now though is that I have no way of tracking. So there's a breakage. When I shoot a bullet, the bullet goes and damages the enemy. I have no way of knowing when that enemy dies, which turret shot that bullet. And so I have no way of incrementing the kill count to do the upgrade. So I need to probably create some kind of bullet component. So let's do a new scene. Let's call this a bullet component. Let's save it in here. We're going to add a new script to that. Let's add a class name to it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this stuff here and paste it there. And then whatever code is in here, We'll just copy that on over to the bullet component. Okay, and then we can make these things configurable. So we can say, well, do we want to do that? Might change this up a little bit. Let's say velocity, vector 2, and then range float. And then we'll do var max range float. Max range equals range. Is that going to work? I have no clue. Let's just do vel. So this is our start function. Distance travel will plus equals. I don't like having to do this, but it should be fine. If distance traveled is greater than max range. Okay, so we're just breaking this out, the bullet component out a little bit. And then we also need to set the turret that shot. So owner turret, let's say. Or let's call this from turret. Cool. All right, so that's our bullet component. And so I'm actually going to go to here. So the turret fire component, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set in here, I'm going to export some numbers here. So export var, let's say bullet speed is equal to 100. And then at export var bullet range is equal to also 100. Okay, and then when we call start in here, let's instantiate that as a bullet component. When we call start in here, we need to pass in a velocity. So, what did I just delete? So let's get the direction, or let's say var velocity is equal to this direction times the bullet speed. So we'll pass in the velocity, we'll pass in the bullet range, and we'll pass in the owner, which is the turret. All right, so now all of those things are in place. And now I need to redo the daisy bullet here. So if I go to I'm gonna remove that daisy bullet from here. We can delete the scene now. Project, or let's do scene, new inherited scene. We're gonna inherit, that's a little bit weird, this bullet component thing, but we're gonna inherit this, we're gonna call it daisy bullet and save it in game object. And then we can go back to our, don't save that. We can go back to our daisy base. Oh, I wanna move that into here actually. And pass that bullet into there. And then the upgraded version, same deal. And I can change the speed and the range in these things. But let's just see if I broke anything horribly. Oh, look at that. Oh, I should do velocity.length, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, something is terribly wrong, but we'll figure it out. Tower defense, what's the twist? The twist is that you control the turrets, you control the towers, and they are automatically upgraded and placed for you. Hello, Dragon Apple. Hello, 7 Ank Ouch. Do you not reuse components from previous projects even for game jams? Not usually. What I find is that usually the components are different enough in terms of game logic that it's an equal amount of effort to modify versus rewrite. What about signals? Signals are being used. Any good GD script tutorials? Well, I'm glad you asked. You could take my Udemy course if you're interested in that. The link for that is in the description below. Otherwise, you can check out GD Quest. Has a lot of good free content on YouTube that you can look at. Thank you, Brant. Yeah, you should be aware that my Udemy course, it does make some assumption that you have some familiarity with programming, so you may find it a little bit difficult if you have never done programming before. You can use either version of Godot that you want, 4 or 3.5. I don't see a reason to not use 4. Maybe if you were really serious about making a game and you needed the compatibility and the stability, then yeah, stick with 3. But if you're just learning, you can do 4 pretty easily. Can you show the game so far? I will show the game when it's working again. Hello, Grim. All right, we're doing a tower defense game where you do not place the turrets or upgrade them yourself. You actually have to shoot them yourself. So, there's something wrong here, though. Why is the things wrong? Distance traveled plus equals velocity dot length. Is there an output thing in here? Parameter range has the same name as a built-in function. Okay. Let's just call this bullet range then. I don't think that's making a difference, but... So, print... Yo. Is that what's causing it to break? Yeah, it thinks the distance traveled. Why is, maybe if I print the velocity here, print. Oh, this needs to be velocity times delta. Right, also, am I not moving this anymore? What happened to the movement code? I don't know what happened in the movement code, but let's see. Okay, perfect. So yeah, for the people that want to see the game, so it's very rough right now, but basically you select your turrets, which are various types of plants, and you have to stop the farmers from getting to the silo. But again, the roles reversed is you have to control the turrets. And the turrets get placed automatically. So here, another daisy has popped up here. So that is representative of another turret being placed for you, and now I can use it over here. So it's more of like a puzzle game rather than like a real tower defense where part of the strategy is placing your turrets. This strategy is all going to be about being good with your aim and being good about how you're hopping between turrets. So I think there's quite potential here. I just need to get it nailed down still, but I think it'll be fun. Okay, so now that we have all that situated, now I have to go to the enemy, or like the farmer here. And there's this area 2D here, which is damaging the health. So in here, I probably want to make like a hitbox component. So let's, or a hurtbox component rather. So let's create save branch as scene. We're going to call this hurtbox component. Okay. Pretty straightforward. I'm going to get rid of the collision shape in here though. Actually, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I should take that, paste it there. and then remove it from here. Okay, so I've got the Hitbox component. It should be configured the way that I need it to be already. We'll create a script for it. I don't know what that is, so we'll just discard it. Okay, so Hitbox component. So we want to connect to that area entered signal. So in here, I'm basically just going to cut those out like so. Go over to the Hitbox component, paste those in. Okay, on area entered. So I'm going to do, let's see, at onReady var health component. Or this actually needs to be export, yeah. So health component damage 1, that's fine. All of this is fine for now. What we're gonna do though is we're gonna say, sorry, I'm just thinking about how do I get the turret here. So I guess what I can do is I can do something kind of iffy here, which is last turret hit or something like that. Or what I can do is I can say, if health component dot current health is less than or equal to 0. What I can do then is I can say, let's do this. If other area dot owner is bullet component, can I do that? Doesn't let me do the C# style. So if the other area is a bullet component and the health component is basically dead now, what we can do is we can say, okay, other area dot owner dot turret. Is that what I want to do? I already forgot how I set this up. So the bullet component has the turret property, right? Yeah, so there's a turret here. Maybe I'll do, let's do this. Let's open up my game events. We're gonna make this like a global event. So we're gonna say signal turret killed enemy. We're gonna do turret node 2D, enemy node 2D. We're gonna emit the turret killed enemy. I realize this is somewhat redundant. Someone asked me about this. Why do I have redundant functions here? And the reason is because I don't like to emit signals from outside the object. So if an object defines a signal, I just don't like emitting that signal from a different place. It should be the object that emits the signal always, and it ends up being a little bit contrived in this case, but I think it's just a good good practice to adhere to. So we'll emit the turret and the enemy, and so now what I can do in this Hitbox component is I can say, okay, game events dot emit turret killed enemy. Other area dot owner. Is that what I want to do? Yeah, other area dot owner dot turret, and then also my owner here. I think that'll work. And then so in my turret, what is it called? The turret upgrade component in here, we can define these methods here. So if I could do game events dot turret killed enemy dot connect on turret killed enemy, and this is a little bit, this is gonna fire for every single turret. Which is fine for the small game, but if I was making this a full game, I'd probably find a way to more carefully narrow it down, but okay, and then we'll just do if owner is equal to turret. Then what we can do is we can say, let's increment a variable var current kills equals 0. Current kills plus equals 1. And then check upgrade, I guess. And then in the check upgrade function, what we'll do is we'll just simply print current kills. Okay, so let's give this a run and see how it crashes. So I should see my kills being printed in the console if I set everything up correctly. Nope. Oh, I forgot to define the health component. Interesting. So I need to go to my Daisy base, turret upgrade component, export var health component. Oh, it doesn't like that. Do I just need to set this to a node now? Wait a minute. Oh, the Hitbox component, farmer. I'm getting confused here. All right, assign that there. Okay, now we're good. Thoughts on 4.1? It is indeed lit, bro. All right, there we go. So I've got my current kills printing in the console. So now the next step is to make the turret actually upgradable. Cool. Only one crash. We're getting there. We're becoming good at Godot. All right. Let's see. Mr. Betamax, welcome to the stream. If I could restart Gunforge, would I stick with C# or switch to GDScript? I would definitely still use C#. And the reason is because I'm able to apply software like OOP patterns, which are, I won't say necessary is a strong word, but it greatly helps in architecting the game because there's all kinds of random events, there's all kinds of affixes and weapon parts that all need to work together. And so being able to introduce multiple layers of abstraction with interfaces and abstract classes goes a really long way in making it manageable in terms of complexity. So I would definitely stick with C# for that game. I'm glad to hear that, Brant. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you were able to follow it without much programming experience. What happened to the police game, the reverse stealth? I scrapped that because it wasn't fun. So I was trying to, you could watch the VOD of the stream yesterday, but it was just really hard. Because like when you're developing like a prototype, it should be, usually what happens in my experience is that the fun will reveal itself pretty early on. And that just wasn't happening with the stealth game. And so rather than try to like, you know, round peg in a square hole or whatever that phrase is, square peg in a round hole, rather than try to force the game in the limited time I have, I decided to take a different approach and try to make something that was actually going to be fun. Arguably, this idea doesn't fit the theme as well, but what it makes up for, or what it lacks in theme adherence, it will make up for in fun, I think so. And that's the most important thing. There are only 3 rating categories for the GMTK Jam, and theme adherence is not one of them, so. Yes, indicators are coming. Indicators, lots of juice, lots of polish, that kind of thing. Any plans for other plants? Yes, I'm going to shoot for 3 to 4 different tower types, which each will have an upgraded stage, right? And the upgraded stage isn't going to be much more than just basic stat increases. I'm not going to make it like super crazy or anything. Hello, Quite Man. You're also doing what on your phone? Hello, Bit. Yeah, it's a tower defense game where you control the towers instead of placing the towers. You have to dodge an evil burger that wants to eat you. That's fun. Yeah, so I think these are, so Zygen, this global event manager, I think a lot of people refer to it as an event bus. which is basically like a global event manager. You can get a little bit more specific with it, but I think as soon as you're trying to connect things where the position in the tree is ambiguous, so with child scenes, or with scenes like you have right here, this farmer right here, right? I know where all of the nodes are in this scene, so I can just connect everything directly to each other. What gets a little bit iffy is like, well, I need the farmer to connect with some game manager. And that game manager could be anywhere in the tree because I could be placing the farmer anywhere in the tree, right? In that case, I might know as the developer where exactly that node is, but I don't know it with absolute confidence, because as soon as I change one aspect of my scene structure, all of a sudden my connection breaks, right? So as soon as you're trying to go to like an ambiguous definition of the scene tree where you're not entirely sure that something is going to be where you think it is, that's when I turn toward the event bus, because then it's an auto load node. It's something that you can always reference. It's something that can always be connected to, disconnected to, and it reaches, I mean, it can penetrate all levels of the tree, right? So that's kind of how I approach it. Yeah. I have this fork coming down and you have to dodge it. Oh, I see. Interesting. Yeah, you'd have to predetermine the position and then show the warning and then show the fork. Hello, Mahan. Welcome to the stream. All right, so we've got the basics in here for the upgrade component working. So let's go to my Daisy base here, and we've got the upgrade scene. We actually have to make this upgrade scene work. So we got to check upgrade here. We're going to say if current kills is equal to required kills. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take that upgrade scene. We're going to say var upgrade is equal to upgrade scene dot instantiate as node 2D. We're going to get the owner parent, owner.getParent dot add child upgrade, upgrade dot global position is equal to owner dot global position. And then we're going to say owner dot queueFree. And then let's go to our Daisy base and let's just turn this to 1. And let's see what happens when we upgrade the turret. So I should be able to kill one farmer. All right, there we go. Big Daisy now. And so now we've got a faster fire rate. Can probably make the bullets faster as well. So yeah, that's the basic upgrade mechanic there. So that's looking good. Obviously got a lot of work to do with the bullets and stuff, but I want to make this like a super juicy game. So like you hit the guys, they flash white, like they get that impact flash. Why am I green? Oh, it's the screen. Like an impact flash, blood flying everywhere, jibs everywhere. Like I want to make it super juicy. Which there's a method to that madness, because you can mask. Okay, this is telling on myself a little bit, but you can mask a lot of game design issues by just making the game feel and look good. At least in the context of game jams. So I usually try to go all out on polish and whatnot. So the upgrade is working. And now it's a matter of balancing a little bit. So the bullet speed, I'm going to make a little bit faster. We can have a faster fire rate as well. Oh, I was changing the wrong thing. Daisy upgrade. Here we go. Fire rate per second, bullet speed up. Okay. So let's take a look at how that works. Also, there's another issue here, which is that you lose the selected turret when it gets upgraded. So I think what I can do is I can say game events dot emit turret selected, and I can just pass in that new turret upgrade. So now it will preserve the turret being selected. All right, so we need to kill 10 farmers to upgrade this daisy. And the future levels will also have, they'll also have multiple pathways. So the first levels are going to be easy, like they're just going to be farmers coming from one direction, right? But there will be other paths. Awesome. Cool. So that's the gist of it. Goodness, there's a lot of work to do still. And the one thing I need to do is I need to make this turret fire component centered on the head of the daisy there. Same deal for this one. Cool. Yeah, exactly, Zyjin. Yeah, you start to see things a little bit more clearly the more you work on a project. I've done that before, like completely changed my patterns, you know, well into a project. All right, Quiet Man, thanks for joining. Yes, exactly. Yeah, you don't want to scatter the signals. What are your thoughts on using get parent? I usually don't. I usually try to stay away from get parent. In a game jam, I'll use it just because it's simpler than trying to set up a bunch of, you know, proper layers and adding things properly. But yeah, I agree, like get parent. One of the problems with get parent is the same as what I was talking about earlier, which is that you're not really sure what the parent is going to be. You know, it might work 99% of the time, but as soon as you try to put that node in a different context, all of a sudden the get parent is not what you expected now and all that stuff. So I think it's a good idea to stay away from it, but also it's for expediency. It's nice to use. You just have to be judicious with how you're using it, that's all. Does Godot Utilities work on Linux? Yeah, it should. It's just a C# NuGet package. I think it'll work. What happened to the reverse stealth? I cut that game because it wasn't super fun. Doing a tower defense now. Okay, I think this is a good place to commit, so I'm going to do that. So turret upgrade system. All right, so what's next? What does the game need next? I think maybe some proper level transitions. So after you, well, should I do that? Or maybe I should focus on making different enemy types or something. Maybe I should get my enemy types and my tower types down. Yeah, maybe I should do that. Upgraded Daisy, let's go. I think what I'm kind of contemplating adding some kind of overheating mechanic as well. So you can't just lay on the button to fire. I might add that because I think having to more carefully manage how much you're shooting is going to make the game a little bit more engaging. Bam! And obviously there's a ton of polish that still needs to be done and UI work and all that. But do I add an overheat mechanic? What does everyone think? I'll poll the chat. What do you guys think about an overheat mechanic? Because right now, one of the problems is I can just hold down left mouse and just sit here, right? So I'm thinking if you have to be more careful about how you're shooting and when you're shooting, it might also force you to have to switch to other towers as well. Yeah, sometimes, yeah, weird bugs can happen with Parent. Different enemy types? Okay. If you add an overheat, I think the overheat should be for every turret rather than globally. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, you can't just shoot from one turret constantly. You'll have to bounce between them. Yeah. Okay, so it seems like the general consensus is that some kind of limit. Each turret could have ammo that charge up slowly. Yeah, that works too. Yeah, we'll play with it. Yeah, let's do it. So let's do that. So let's we can just build it right into this turret fire component, I think. Can we? Yes, I think so. So let's do this. Add export var, let's see, overheat per shot. Let's just do 0.1. At export var overheat decay. This decay might need to be more fancy, but we can say it decays 0.5 every second. Something like that. Var current heat equals 0.0. If current heat is less than 1.0 and okay, we're going to do current heat plus equals overheat per shot. Or let's change this to I don't know if I want to use the word over or just heat. Is heat even a word anymore? Okay. And then we'll say current heat equals clamp current heat minus heat decay times delta 0, 1. Okay, so I'm just going to just print that heat in here. There will probably have to be like a penalty for going overheat like most games do. That is actually not overheating at all. It's decaying before it even gets to the next shot. Yeah, so I think this is just going to be a matter of balance. So maybe the heat per shot is something like 0.35. I'm just watching the numbers that are printing at the bottom there. Yeah. Okay, so then we need like an overheat hold time or something. I need to implement a bar of some sort as well. Let's see what you all are saying. A reverse overheat mechanic. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Rested XP and MMOs. Yeah, so the less you use of the turret, the more damage it does. That's very interesting. I'm a little wary of getting too deep into like damage calculations, but if it might be something that I have to do. Hello, Cheesem. Instead of punishing the same turret, reward. Okay, so I see what you're getting at. So you reward switching turrets. So I'm just thinking. I mean, would it make sense then to just give the turret a damage bonus within like 5 or 10 seconds of switching to it? Something like that? Like, would that be a simpler way of accomplishing the same goal? So rather than trying to like calculate all this overheat stuff, just say it does extra damage within 5 seconds of switching to it, or 10 seconds with switching to it. First 5 shots after switching. That, yeah. Yeah, that works too. So what are we thinking? So damage, do we still want an overheat mechanic, or do we just want to give the player an incentive to switch? Also, I guess the problem with that though is like, there has to be a cooldown period too, right? Because I could just like click over to another turret and then click back. So maybe it still makes sense in the context of a heat mechanic. Because then there's like a timed delay during which it has to reset. Yeah, I'm thinking it'll have to be something like double damage or something. Let's just keep going with this heat, and then I will probably work on tying this to damage. So like, so if we're gonna do reverse heat, I'm just thinking. Well, let's just go forward with the way that I was initially thinking of it, and then we'll revisit it after doing some play testing. If current heat greater than or equal to 1.0, then we probably need some kind of like decay period, right? So if current heat is equal to 0, then we're going to say is heat disabled equals false. So, okay, so what's going on here is if you can still shoot, so if you're not disabled from overheating, and all these things are true, it will create the bullet, it will add the heat per shot. If you exceed 1.0, then is heat disabled will be turned to true, and you will not be able to shoot until it resets to 0. This is going to be very hard to visualize, but let's see what happens. Okay, so I don't know if you saw that, but there was a slight delay there. So if I just keep holding this down. No. So I'm actually kind of incentivized to wait a little bit longer if I can. Okay, so now I'm actually feeling the pressure to have to switch now. Oh, there's too many of them. I might have to balance this now. It's every time I add something new, the game gets wildly out of balance again. I don't know. I know it's kind of hard to see what's going on there, but how are we feeling about that so far? Overheat mechanic must be combined with progressive difficulty. Yes, there will be progressive difficulty. Just like a typical tower defense, the level gets more difficult the more time passes. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, so I think the story with WoW is that it used to be that you had an experience penalty if you weren't rested. But what they ended up doing instead was giving you a XP bonus if you were rested. And I'm pretty sure the numbers still worked out the same way, like it was exactly the same effect, but just the framing, the players didn't think that they were being punished, they thought that they were being rewarded. So it was like a really interesting, even though the numbers were the same, it had a completely different feel. So framing is a lot. Maybe each turret could have a super attack that would charge up with time. That's an interesting idea, yeah. I do want to see, maybe I'll try the reverse heat thing now. So how would reverse heat work? It would have to be something like double damage or something if you're, if you have energy, let's say. Let me do this. I'm going to commit this experiment with overheat. The problem is I need to add a whole like damage increase system here, but let's try it. Let's try it. So current heat is equal to 1.0. Heat per shot, heat decay. This is probably better called like energy loss per shot, and then energy gain rate, and then is energized. Current energy. Energy makes more sense with plants too, like photosynthesis. So maybe this is already looking good. If is energized and, okay, so is energized equals true. So the way that this is going to work is every time you shoot, your current energy will have the energy loss per shot subtracted. If your current energy is less than or equal to 0, then we're going to say is energized equals false. So then you're not going to be able to shoot. So you're going to be penalized if you use up all your energy. And what's going to happen is if you use up all your energy, you have to wait for it all to recharge. But if you use half your energy and you hop to another turret, you could hop back to the half energy one before it's fully recharged, for instance. So current energy minus equals energy loss per shot is energized equals false. Okay, so current energy equals clamp, current energy plus energy gain rate times delta. If current energy is equal to 1, is energized equals true. So we kind of just reversed everything. And so now what needs to happen is that, I mean, is it... Yeah, I don't know if damage needs to be a part of this. I wonder if just reversing the energy makes sense. But let's see. Maybe it just does extra damage when you're full energy or something. So let's see. Bullet start. So we'll say the bullet has by default 1 damage, but from the turret fire component, we'll say, let's say if is equal approx. I don't know if I should be using this or not. If is equal approx current energy 1.0, then we're going to say bullet dot damage is equal to something like 3, I don't know. And now in the Hitbox component, we actually need to read that. So we'll just put everything in here. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's fine. We'll do this, but then we need to take this and put that as a separate statement here. So damage, other area dot owner dot damage. So now, if you are fully energized, your first bullet will deal, your first bullet will deal 3 damage. And that number can be played with as well, but let's see. Boom. So now I'm killing them instantly and I can just wait. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this for very long. How are we feeling about this? Oh, that one runs out of energy real quick. Okay, I might have to turn that down. Yeah, it's a little bit weird. I wonder, I don't know if I should be doing the damage stuff. I wonder if just the overheating is enough. But I do like the reversal of it. So instead of it heating up, you lose energy instead. Hello, Matthew. Let's see, hold on. Yeah, what am I working on today? So this is the GMTK jam. The theme is roles reversed, and I'm making a tower defense where you control the towers directly, and the upgrades and placement of the towers happens automatically. So it's a reversal of what typically happens. Energy would be interesting your plant have to recharge, so the more energy you have, the more damage you do. Yeah, that's kind of what I got implemented right now, but I just don't know if that's working. Well, you can always do one, Ken. There's all kinds of ways to make a tower defense like this. Hello, Dev Bros. Hello, no one. Hello, Light Key Studio. Why not make a debug meter real fast? Well, that's the next step. So I'm going to, I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get rid of this line here real quick. And let's do a debug meter. Let's see. Actually, I don't think it's going to be debug. I think it is going to be something that I want to do. So I think it's just a matter of, I'll just do the art and get it implemented. What color do we want it to be? This is a good energy color, I think. That works. Oops. Okay. And let's go ahead and do that. So I'm actually going to need to place the bar outside of this turret fire component, I think. So I might need to just do a new energy bar component or something. Let's just get this whipped together real quick. All right, where's my theme here? First of all, we want to turn the mouse filter off. Okay, so where is the theme stuff? Theme. Here we go. New style box texture, new style box texture. Progress bar, bring that on over. Edit this region. Oops, dang it. I really don't like this editor. There we go. Okay, so there's one part of the progress bar, and then let's do the next one. All right, and then I can set the value to what? 0.5, there we go. And then this height here needs to be something like 3. Is that right? I think it should be 4. Yeah, that's right. It also doesn't need to be that big. Okay, and then we'll just go ahead and center it. Cool. So let's go ahead and slap that in here. Or maybe the energy should be above, something like that. So there's our energy bar component. And now it needs to listen for the turret fire component. I'm just going to do it really, really sloppily. I want to not do it super complex here. Goodness, why does it keep doing this? Let's give this a class name. At export var turret fire component. Func, here's my really dirty solution. Delta value is equal to turret fire component dot current energy. Done. Not the most efficient way of doing it, but you know what they say, YOLO. So now we've got the daisy, so now I can just assign this turret fire component into there, and let's see what happens. So I'll probably want it to change colors or something, depending on how much energy there is. And maybe it shouldn't start regaining energy until you stop shooting. Maybe. Go, I need this. It probably should also have a back. So it probably should be fully enclosed like so. That'll make it easier to see. Yeah, I think maybe it shouldn't start regaining energy until you're not clicking on it. Let's try that. Let's try that. If not is energized or not input dot is action pressed, fire. So what this is basically saying is that if you're not energized, which means that you can't shoot, or you're not shooting, not doing the shooting input, then it will start recharging. There needs to be some kind of like grace period or something, or like, I guess now there actually, maybe there doesn't need to be the overheat mechanic anymore. Maybe I don't need this is energized. If I'm saying you can't regenerate energy unless you're not shooting, then maybe maybe this is energized is no longer necessary. All right, let's see. Realize there's 16K people and you have no chance. Well, I don't have a chance either, but it's still fun. So this needs to be current energy greater than 0. So instead of having like an overheat period, you just can't shoot anymore. No, that doesn't work either because you can just feather it. Gonna need to play with this some more. I was supposed to make a game, but something got in the way of my time, so it won't finish the project. Happy you make this live feel a little bit more part of the jam. Good. Glad. Yeah, it's I think it's fun to hang out with everyone. Since when have I been using Godot? Since 2019, I believe. It was right around the 3.0 alpha stage. Was it 2019? No, I was earlier than that. 2017? I think it was 2017. Do you know where we can, are there really a lot of people making reverse tower defense? Oh well, none of my ideas are original, so I'm not worried about it. Do you know where we can learn how to publish our own game? Well, publishing is a different thing than just making it. If you're just talking about like how do you make a game and upload it somewhere, you could just upload it to itch.io. But if you're talking about publishing as in terms of like actually working with a publisher, I cannot help you there. But yeah, you can just upload your game to itch.io, make a page for it, and it's that simple. Even Steam's a little bit more complicated, but you can do it yourself. You just build your game from your engine and then upload the files, and that's basically it. Hello, Light. Do I use GD script now? Just for this jam. I gotta stay up to date on my GD script. There's no real benefit from using a low-level plant. Yeah, well, that's why I want to like pressure the player to use all the plants that they have available. I don't want to introduce like pricing or anything. That would be too complicated, I think. Hello, Mango Works. What if when you shoot, you actually create a pattern, and then when you switch turret, the turret continues shooting in the pattern you were doing? That's an interesting idea. The stream was recommended to you. Excellent. It is a tough theme, Toothless. It absolutely is a tough theme. I think I'm going to try to keep it simple with just the overheating mechanic. I basically just need something that pressures the player into using other plants. And I think I'm just going to get rid of this and put this back the way it was. The only reason that I'm doing this overheat mechanic is because I want the player to be pressured to use something else. That's all. To prevent them from being able to just hold left mouse the whole time with no consequence. And I think this is working at a very basic level. Because now it's like, uh-oh, they're coming really fast, but now I got this one, and so now I can, okay, do this. Ooh, and if I miss, that hurts. And of course, I'll have to play with the spawn rates here. But I think this is starting to shape up a little bit more how I was hoping it would. Yeah, so they're for level 1, they're coming a little bit too fast, but that should be pretty easy to solve with going to the level here. Going to this enemy spawner component. Wait time max 3, wait time min maybe 1.5. So the way that these enemy spawners work is that when you're at the beginning of the level, they wait this maximum amount of time, and then as the level ticks down, they start waiting less and less to spawn. I think I will add like a little bit of a grace though, because right now if you go just below 0, you have to wait for it to charge all the way back up. And so I think maybe I'll let the player hit 0 without needing to wait. But then if they shoot again, if they go like very far below 0, then they'll have to wait. All right, this is actually starting to shape up. That new mechanic is actually now forcing me to have to engage with the multiple turrets, which is what I was going for. Now it's just a matter of making sure that it's actually manageable for the player. What's my game about? It's reverse tower defense, basically, where the towers are upgraded for you and placed for you, and you have to manually shoot the towers. So it's kind of like, you know, a typical tower defense is you place all your turrets down and upgrade them, but you don't do any of that in this game. You just shoot. Oh, I got the upgraded one. Let's go. I need to tweak that one, but yeah, I got the upgraded turret there. Okay, all right, I'm feeling really good about this. This is starting to get to where it's becoming fun, and I can see how the mechanics are coming together now. So that's very good. See ya, farmers. Get in your silos. So yeah, I mean, I could just let all these guys go to the end. And I won because I didn't die. Awesome. All right, we're getting there. So I'm going to say that this is good. I know there's a couple questions in the chat. I will answer those in just a second here. I just want to make sure that I'm committing this. Okay. Tweak energy mechanic. Okay. All right, let's see here. Why do I use C# and how did I learn game dev? So I use C#, I mentioned this earlier, but the gist of it is I use it so I can apply more object-oriented design patterns. So I can use interfaces, abstract classes, things of that nature. It's much easier to structure, I think, a more complex project when you have those tools available to you. As well as I can use any NuGet package basically that I want, you know, with certain limits, but there's a lot of NuGet packages out there that I can pull into my games. And then how did I learn game dev? Yeah, I think it's pretty similar to the story everyone else has, which is I started when I was 14-ish, 13 or 14. Game Maker, I think it was 8. I just started with that and started making games, and I've been doing it as a hobby ever since. I actually went to college for game development, which was a giant waste of time, but it was fun. Oh, I see. Light. Are you like writing your own, or using your own engine? What is it that you're compiling? Yes, yeah, Felix, exactly. So there will be multiple turrets that do different things. So not every turret is just going to be a raw damage turret. One of the next turrets I want to make is like a wall turret of some sort that like halts the progress of the enemies. And then obviously like a splash damage turret of some sort, like fire or something. That's what I want to do. Yeah, energy debt. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking is exactly. So like if it costs 20 energy and you, let's say you spend that 20 energy and you end up at -9, then I can say, okay, well, you don't enter the delay period where you have to recharge, right? But let's say that you go past the halfway point, you go to -11, then I want to make it so that way that's when you get punished and you have to you know, wait for the recharge. Our idea is a puzzle game where you are the deflator and solve puzzles by changing the data of objects. Oh, interesting. Developer. Okay, yeah, I was wondering what you meant by deflator. Developer. That's cool. That's a really interesting idea. Hello, Drufus. Welcome back. Do we have enough time to dev all those? Why not make an MVP first? Well, I mean, yeah, that's the goal. There's plenty of time. But in some sense, the MVP requires multiple turret types and multiple enemy types. So there's no escaping it either way. So I think what I'll do here is 3.5, 2.5, slightly reduce that again. So I also need some sort of indication of like when the thing is going to level up. I'm trying to separate out like what is polish work and what is work that needs to be done for the game. I think the next thing to work on that makes sense is doing level transitions. But first, let me go to my Daisy upgraded here. And I need to put, I think I'm missing a couple of things. Nope, I just need to insert that energy bar component. Put this up top. Okay, and then I also need to change this energy loss. So energy loss per shot, maybe turn that down for the big one. And energy gain rate, turn that up maybe. And I'm just gonna try this real quick. Oh, I forgot to set up the turret fire component. Turret, where's my Daisy upgraded? Okay. You are making a Minecraft mod. You're using a custom language. I see. That sounds difficult. Yeah, I think this is good. I think that's good. Switch this back to 10. Okay. Am I using 4.1 now and also for Gunforged? Has it fixed any of the issues you were having? I'm using 4.1 now, yes, and has it fixed any of the issues? Not really. I mean, there's still a bunch of issues. Some C# fixes I've gotten, which are good, but there's still some rendering issues that I'm running into that haven't been fixed yet, but I think it's better overall, so that's good. Okay, I'm going to take a really quick couple minute break here. And then we'll work on level transition. So we'll work on switching to the next level when that happens. There's still a ton of work to do, but I'm going to get the bones in place first. So yeah, level transitions, we'll work on that after the short break. So in the meantime, if you're interested in the Udemy course, you could check that out in the link below, in the description below rather. And you can also wishlist my game Gunforged on Steam. So you can check those out while I'm gone, and I'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, I'm back. All right, let's keep going. So level transition is what we want to do. All right, I'm going to close all this. All right, so main, where do I want to put the level transition code? Maybe in main here. I guess this is as good a place as any. So let's do @export var levels, and this will be an array of packed scene. Current level index equals 0. Or maybe we'll start it at -1. Func ready. We'll call increment level. And where is that? Increment level. If current level index is greater than or equal to levels.size, then this is game over or game complete here. Else, let's do this. Get child 0 dot queue free var new level is equal to levels current level index dot instantiate add child new level. So maybe something like that. Now I want to use my screen transition as well. I need to do pass in here. So I have this auto load here that I can add, which is in my scenes. Nope, it's in my add-ons. Node library, scenes, screen transition, add. Cool. And I believe I can do this. I can say await screen transition dot transition, I think, or transitioned halfway. I think what I need to do is call this await screen transition dot. Is this? Can I do this? I forgot how to await things in GD script. I think that will work, but I'm not sure. That did not work. All right, let's see. I gotta look it up. Await signal Godot. I think I'm doing it right. So there must be something else that I'm doing wrong here. Let's see. Maybe this is just wrong. Nope, that's right. So this is what I should be seeing, but I'm not. So that's that's slightly disturbing. Why am I not? Why am I not seeing that correctly? So I'm calling increment level here. It's turning the current level index. Oh, I didn't supply my levels. Okay. That would help. That would help indeed. All right. Got it. Okay. If all right, so there's our little transition. So now it shouldn't happen on the first level, but I'll fix that later. What the important thing is to do is now transition to the next level when the game is completed. New level dot level completed dot connect on level completed. On level completed, increment level. Okay, so I think that will do it. So let's take a look and see how that works. Looks cool. Thanks, Chief. Yeah, if you guys, thanks, Chief. I feel so cool saying that. I have that screen transition is available on my GitHub. It's in a repository called Godot add-ons. And you can simply add the add-on to your Godot 4 project and then add that screen transition as an auto-loaded node, and you can use it in the same way that I'm using it. And it's got a couple of methods as well for changing the transition texture and the transition color as well. So you can customize it to your liking. And of course, that's MIT licensed, so you can use it however you want. This is feeling really good. I mean, it's not feeling good, but like I can see with polish how this is going to be a decent amount of fun. So I'm really excited about that. Like I can just pepper these guys with that one and then I can finish them off over here. Or I can just do it myself. And the transition works. Look at that. All right, it's coming together. We're getting the big things in. So, this is so cool. All right, next thing I want to do. Let's commit that. And yes, I'm using VS Code as my GitHub UI. Added level transition code. Hey, Baragam. How's the jam going? It's going well. It's starting to come together in a way that I'm really excited about. It initially did not go well for me either. I had to scrap my first idea that I spent like 6 hours prototyping. But why isn't the jam going well for you? That's unfortunate. All right, so what I want to do here is I want to create a new enemy type that's really fast. Anyone have... Actually, I think I know what I want to do. I'm going to do like a golden retriever. Farmers have golden retrievers. They love golden retrievers. So there will be a fast enemy that has low health but sprints, and it will be a golden retriever. Now you're going to see me embarrass myself with my ability to draw dogs. This actually looks more like a terrier, which may not be a bad thing. What does a golden retriever look like? Oh, no. It kind of looks like an elephant of some sort. Golden retriever. You just gotta think like a golden. I'll just call this dog. Yes, unfortunately in this game you're gonna kill the dog. Maybe I shouldn't do that, but I might get points off for that. Maybe I should actually not do that. Nah, I'm gonna go for it. I'll take the risk. If I get a lower rating because of it, oh well. I had a really good video idea, which makes the jam really hard, but I think I'll manage to do it. Oh, that's cool. I love seeing when people have like a good video that goes along with their jam entries. I like watching the devlogs as much as I like playing the games. Probably more, actually. All right, I'm not gonna try to make this super like a golden retriever. I'm wasting too much time. I'm just gonna do my best to make it presentable. Why am I using these different colors here? It's because I just wanted to shape it out a little bit. Because it's hard to see the differences in these colors here, and so I just kind of need to figure out, you know, how I'm going to do that. I think I can just outline it like that, and then kind of segment little dog out like that. Yeah, this is definitely more like a terrier of some sort. There we go. What would this dog be without a big old tongue hanging out? Oh, goodness. Oh, that doesn't look bad, actually. That does not look bad at all, actually. Okay. Maybe I'd take back what I said about this not looking bad. Okay, I don't know what to do about the legs. So maybe I'll just make it all one color so it looks better. Yeah, this is like super awkward. I think these need to be like... There we go. Starting to look more appropriate. I'm wondering if that should be the same color as well. There we go. Okay. Maybe the collar... Maybe the collar should be like a... a color that's distinct from the rest of them. Don't need to be too detailed, I suppose. Okay, and then we can outline. The outline brings a ton of life to these usually. There we go. We got a little dog. Still doesn't look great. I wonder if the mouth needs to go up a little bit more. Oh, now that dog looks not right. That's probably better. It's a little bit muddy. I don't want to make the dog look evil. I think that that's probably fine. Yeah. I think that's probably fine. I think I'm just going to stop messing with it now. As I mess with it some more. I do think that maybe a little bit of shading is called for. A little bit of shading. I think maybe I can get away with making these legs a little bit darker here. Make it look like the dog has little boots. That's probably fine. Yeah, that didn't turn out so bad. That didn't turn out so bad at all. Maybe I'll tone back that highlight a little bit. Okay, well, it is passable, I think. I think it's passable. Yeah, I think the shading does add a little bit more to it, Chief, for sure. I'm back from a break. Welcome back, MangoWorks. Welcome, welcome. All right, so there's our little doggo. Unfortunately, the flowers are going to be slaughtering this little doggo, so we're not going to talk about that, though. So, yeah, why did I add this dog? Because I want a faster enemy now. And so, that means that I'm going to need to probably do some refactoring here. So let's open up that farmer. So we've got this component here, or this thing that's begging to be split out into a reusable component here, which basically controls the following of the path for the tower defense. So I think it will be as simple as copying this code here and create a new scene. We're going to create it from a path follow 2D node. And we're just going to call this path follow component. Create a new script. Oh, wait, I want to save this first. Save. Create. Cool. Health component. Do we need the health component? That's fine. So now the speed, we're going to do this. Var at export var speed min at export var speed max. We'll grab a random number, speed min, speed max. Offset is fine. That's all fine. That's good. Yeah, I think this is all good. Cool. So that's what we've done. So now with this farmer, can I do this? Well, scene, new inherited scene. Path follow component, farmer. Let's assign that health component there. I'm going to overwrite the farmer here, so let's see. Oh, wait, did I not? Copy that collision shape, paste it there. No! Why did you crash, Godot? Did I just lose that file that I was creating? Dang it, okay. So the path follow component, paste that all in there. It doesn't like that. Okay, well. We're going to overwrite the farmer with this. I don't usually do this. I don't usually inherit from a component. Maybe this would have been more appropriate as like a base enemy scene, but we're gonna YOLO it. It's fine. Cool. Oh, I didn't save this either. All right. So if all went well, I think the farmer should still spawn. Yep. Cool. Oops. What happened? Oh, I'm missing the health component in here. So it looks like some of the connections got broken. Which is fine. So now, new inherited scene, component, path, follow component. And I can call this dog. And we can save that in game object here. And we're going to copy the health component, the sprite. We'll just copy all these. Oops. Cool. Sprite, dog. Cool. And then the dog is going to have a much higher speed. The health is going to be a little bit lower. And the Hitbox component we're going to go ahead and add a collision shape 2D. Circle shape. Looks like that'll be a fine shape as well. All right. So now what I can do is in my level scene. This is kind of like my base level scene, so I'm just kind of throwing a bunch of stuff in there. But I can duplicate this enemy spawner component. And I might have to increase this, but yeah, the enemy scene, I'm just going to drop the dog in there. And let's see how that works. So you can see with relatively minimal effort, I was able to basically create a new enemy. There goes the dog. Oh, the dog is big. Why is the dog big? I made the dog a little bit too big, but oh well. Yep, less health, faster movement. That's what we got for the dog. Okay. This is not the rate at which they'll spawn in the real game, but all right, we got a dog, which is a man-sized dog. The farmers are either small or the dog is ginormous. I think it's fine. It's whatever. Hey, stop. Cat's eating my cables. All right. We're starting to get there. So there's another enemy type. I guess maybe you should start. Well, let's do this. Let's save the dog. So added dog. This is sort of my base level, and so I'm actually going to save this as base level. Call this base level, like so. And we're going to rename that script. Rename this. I don't know why it won't let me rename. There we go. Base level. Cool. So now I got to think about how I'm going to do this, because what I want to do is I want to make this an inherited scene, this level here. So we'll save that as level 1. So now what happens if I can just delete the normal level now. So what happens if I go to my base level now and I delete all of this? Or I guess I don't need to delete all of it. I guess I can just delete. Whoops, just the path. And also remove this path 2D here. I think this might also remove it in my other. Yep, that's fine. I will reconstruct that. So I should also put some more effort into organizing this a little bit. So for organization purposes, I'm going to create a new node 2D, and I'll just call this paths. And let's create another node, and we'll just call this enemy spawners. Cool. Now, one thing I'm curious about is this enemy goal, this silo is Y sorted along with everything in this path. Can I nest the Y sorting? You can nest nodes with Y sorting. Child Y sorted nodes are sorted in the same space as the parent Y sorted. This feature allows you to organize a scene better or divide it into multiple ones without changing your scene tree. Oh, so I can do Y sorting. So that means that I can move the goal wherever I want. And I can make the path, let's say, well, I don't want to do anything too dramatic here. Cool. Day 2, yeah, Riley. We're here. We're out here. Do you prefer Unity over Godot? I have not used Unity much, no. My hunch is that if I was ever going to seriously make a 3D game, I'd probably use Unity. But I don't know much about Godot's 3D capabilities yet either, so. Alright, so this path, I just want to make it go like that real quick. And I should be able to just play this, I think. Yeah, so what I want to see is I want to see if they go behind the thing. Okay, they're going behind it. That's good. Perfect. Yeah, okay, sweet. So I can Y sort multiple things together. Excellent. So that means that I can probably, instead of doing that, I've got my paths, I've got my enemy goal. So if I add another node 2D and I say like entities, put the paths underneath that, put the enemy goal there, and then Y sort this. That works, yeah, you can see that it works. So like you can see the path is being drawn above the enemy goal, but as soon as I turn on Y sort, it goes behind it. So that means that it's working. Awesome. Okay, so all of that was to basically be able to resort all this. Or redraw all this rather. So let's go to my tile map here. Path. So I'm going to kind of roughly recreate what I had. So we'll do this. Then down. then over. It's not down enough. Here we go. Then over, then up, and then over. Oh, of course, I did it on the wrong layer too. I did it on the wrong layer. I guess it doesn't super matter, but doing things on the right layer is a good idea. So this is kind of roughly what I had, I think. I'll take the enemy goal, put it right there. Fill all those spots back in. Is there a way that I can move these things around? Oops. I thought there was a way I should be able to cut things and move them. Maybe that's not a thing anymore. Because I seem to have put this a little bit too low. Well, that's kind of a bummer. I don't know if I can cut and move tiles. Okay, well, we'll try again. Start up here, come down this way. Okay, that should work. And then this one, this last tile right here, it just needs to be like that. So it's connecting to the edge, and then I can go ahead and add the path here. Cool. So I'm missing the path node again, so we'll just assign it there. All right, and now I need to create the daisy. So instantiate the child scene, daisy base. Maybe put that daisy right there, and then instantiate a child scene, turret grower. Put it right there. And this will also spawn that daisy base after 30 seconds. All right. So here's like a little tutorial level. What is happening? Now I gotta figure out why they're not aligned properly. Oh boy. Why are they way off the path? It's not even close to correct. Okay, so I'm going to pause the scene tree, and I'm just going to look at the remote here. Oh, interesting. What happened to the... Hold on a second. Maybe I'm just using the wrong level. Something's very wrong here. No points in curve 2D. Go ahead, crash, Godot. All right. Why is this not working? Something went wrong. This is why I don't like using inheritance. It gets very iffy. Oh, and there's no... So the path that I added... Okay, here's what I'm going to do. There's going to be no path in the base level at all. I'm going to have to be the one to add the path. So add child node, path, 2D. And then I will just manually add each path that I want to add to the level. Okay. And I forgot to assign that here. Okay. Now it should work. Hopefully. Okay, there we go. We're in business now. All right, this is starting to feel pretty good. Missing is really not good either. So pepper those guys, switch to this one. Oh, and I leveled up, look at that. All right. So that can be like the little tutorial level, I suppose. So now the question is, this may not end up being the actual first level, but I'm going to create another level. Just for testing purposes. Can I build in a quick switch between your towers? Yeah, I think I might have time to do that. Certainly would be a good quality of life improvement. Okay. So I want to do another path here. So let's add a child. Well, let's paint the path first. So maybe now. I also implemented this like camera panning functionality, but I don't know if I'm going to have big levels like that. We'll figure it out, I guess. Anyway, so let's come down from the top. Come down from the top, go to the left and down, go across, then back up again. Okay, something like that. Okay, so now I can add another path 2D and just trace that out. Perfect. Okay, and then I can daisy. Put the daisy there. And then instantiate turret grower. Maybe right there. Time to grow, let's say 30. Maybe we'll change this level to 90 seconds or something, a minute and a half. Put that turret grower there. Duplicate it, put another one here. And maybe this one can grow after 60 seconds. And then let's create some enemy spawner. I just tried to move that, which is not correct. So we got the farmer, path node there, level timer there. Those defaults are probably good. Are those defaults good? Turn that down to 1 maybe. Maybe 3 and 1. And then let's duplicate that, but we're gonna put a dog in there instead. Dog and wait time 5 and 3. Maybe 6. 6 and 4. Now the thing is, I need to add another thing into here, which is gonna be a delay timer. OnReady var delay timer. Timer equals delay timer. So this is going to be like a period of time where it won't spawn. So if delay timer how do I want to do this? Delay time float equals 0. If delay time is equal to 0, then we'll call this. Else, delay timer dot wait time equals delay time. Delay timer dot start. One shot, okay. Func on delay timer timeout. What are we gonna do? We're gonna say update and start timer. This should probably be called update and start spawn timer. And then we need to connect to that. So delay timer dot timeout dot connect on delay timer timeout. Okay, so now if I go to my level 2, I should have this delay time here, which I'm going to set to 30 seconds or maybe 45 seconds. And let's play this and see what happens. Yeah, using the arrow keys or WASD or something. WASD currently pans the camera, which might need to change. I could probably just make this like a one screen deal. Like maybe there doesn't need to be panning. I was expecting like these massive, you know, these massive levels. Uh-oh, I overheated. Give me the next daisy, please. Where is it? I thought I put... Oh, I forgot to put the scene in there. I should probably add like little warnings when I haven't configured these things correctly. Okay. All right, the game is basically, I mean, it's coming together. I think the scaffolding is basically here. So I think the rest of the time today, I'm not going to do it all on stream, but the rest of the time today can be spent building content and polishing it up and building levels. I think the game is basically there. It just needs some love and quality of life features, like being able to know when a turret is going to spawn up. I also have to tweak the... Oh, here comes a dog! No, get him. Oh, got him. Oh, there's another one. Oh, goodness. Wait, I got another daisy here. I think also... Oh, there we go. Oh, goodness. Yeah, this level might be a little bit difficult the way I've configured it. But you can see how it's working now. It's starting to get to that point where I think you can easily see how it's going to be put together. A lot of balancing to do, that's all. Is the spawn random or is it predetermined? It is it has a degree of randomness to it. But what happens is I define here... I say, here's my wait time max and my wait time min, and it will pick a number between these two to wait before spawning, but it decreases as the time goes on. So it's a percentage, right? So if you're 50% of the way through the level, it's going to more likely generate a time around 2 seconds than around 3 seconds. And if you're almost finished with the level, they'll be sending at every 1 second here. I may change that. I may... What I might do is just use this delay time to control the difficulty instead, but I'll see how it goes. I might have to simplify this logic a little bit. But in any case, I think 4 and 2 is fine for this one, and then maybe 8 and 6 or 10 and 7 maybe for the dog. Is pursuing a game dev diploma worth it? No. No. I mean, my opinion of college in the United States is generally very low. Now, if you're in Europe and your tuition is being paid for you in large part, then you might as well go to college for whatever you want. But in the United States, I think it ends up being mostly a waste of money to pursue that degree. Especially given that you can buy a high-quality Udemy course like my 2D Survivors course and pretty much learn whatever a college is going to teach you. You know, it's just, there's so many skills that you just don't need to go to college for, I don't think. Particularly software engineering. You can pick that up yourself. And the companies that are hiring software engineers, they're increasingly not looking at your diploma. They're increasingly relying on, like, coding tests and whatnot. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. For what it's worth, for what the stranger on the internet's opinion is worth. It's getting very dark. All right, so this is turning out pretty good. I have a lot of balancing work to do, but I think that this is looking really good. So I'm gonna commit this. What did I do here? Okay, yeah, so created base level scene. So I think probably the next thing that I'll do is something like creating a new turret type, because I gotta get that kind of content built and do some more play testing before I start polishing it up. But I'm not gonna do that on this stream. Been going for 2.5 hours, which is great, but I'm gonna go get some lunch now and probably take a short break. So thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. It was fun to hang out with you all. How many levels do I plan for the game? It's hard to say with game jams because you don't want to overstay your welcome. A lot of people are tempted to add a bunch of levels to their game jam game because it's too short. But what works better is once you've shown the player everything you have to show them, then the game's over, right? So it depends on how much content I have and how quickly I want to introduce all the new content. But as soon as I've exposed the player to all the content, that will be the end of the game. So it'll probably end up being, if I introduce one new thing per level and I have like 5 different mechanics, then there will probably be 5 or 6 levels and then that'll be it. So that's the approach that I generally take. But yeah, you don't want to overstay your welcome. Generally, when people have seen everything your game has to offer, they're ready to be done with it. And so you should give them a proper ending rather than having them close your game. That's kind of how I think about it anyway. But yeah, so yeah, fun and quick, exactly. Yeah, people just want to play your game for 5 minutes and give you a rating and then be done. That's my experience. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you who play these jam games feel the same way. Like a lot of games you play, you're like, okay, I get it. I don't need to play this anymore, you know? So anyway, yeah, so that's the end of the stream. If you're interested to learn Godot for development, you can check out my Udemy course. The link for that is in the description below. And if you are so inclined, you can wishlist Gunforged on Steam, which is my commercial game that's being developed. So yeah, thanks again, everyone, for watching. Really appreciate it. And have a good rest of your days. And I will see you probably in a stream tomorrow morning. All right. Goodbye, everyone.